you try to fight technology, you will lose. You know, if you try to fight Facebook back then, you lost. If you try to fight Amazon, you lost. So you might as well, with these new technologies, learn about them and learn how you can implement them into your life, into your business, and different things like. What's up, my fly folks out there? How y'all doing? I hope y'all doing all right. And I wanted to bring y'all this special episode because for the past few months, my man Gary Vee and many other influential folks in the business space have been promoting and educating people on NFTs because they believe NFTs are the new future of e-commerce and blockchain technology. So with that being said, of course, I wasn't going to leave y'all hanging. We've been left out the loop for years. And now that I'm here, I'm going to make sure we're up to date on all things finance, investing, and entrepreneurship. No cap. So I recently put a post on social media asking for someone to come talk to us about this new wave of digital e-commerce called NFTs. And my girl, Miss Tamia BJ, hit me up and said she would love to come help the fly folks out. So welcome, Miss Tamia. How's everything been since we last chopped it up?
Hey, I'm happy to be back. Things have been good. How about you?
Things have been great. Just working on the low. Got a lot of great things planned for my fly folks this year. It's going to be a good one. So just give us, a quick 1 minute intro of who you are. You know, I know sometimes this can be the hardest question of the interview, but, go ahead and talk to them and tell them who you are. And then we're going to dive right into these NFTs.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, hey, everybody. My name is Tamia BJ, and I'm a 23-year-old day trader, or actually, I should say swing trader. I like to trade mostly currencies, but recently I've been kind of falling down the rabbit hole of cryptocurrencies, and then eventually into blockchain development and what we're here to talk about today, which is NFTs. I love trading, and I'm really starting to love crypto a little bit more. It's one of those things you can't really ignore these days. Just the greatest money revolution in history, and I'm just really excited to talk about it today.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So what in the world are NFTs? What do they stand for? From my basic knowledge, I understand that they're like digital products or an asset like a video, picture, a song, anything digital that can be produced online and then sold through the Ethereum blockchain. Am I correct? We need this simplified as much as possible. So maybe start with what is blockchain and what is Ethereum? Just go ahead.
Okay, of course. So I understand a lot of people watching, they kind of like have an idea of how cryptocurrencies work, how NFTs work. It all starts with your blockchain. So similar to how like when you make purchases with your credit card or your debit card, you log into like your online bank and you can see every transaction that you've done online. A blockchain does that same exact thing, but it'll be for any purchase that you make with cryptocurrency. And so that blockchain, what it's made out of is basically computer code, like a bunch of zeros and ones that tell your money to go here. If you click this button online to make this purchase, then like your Bitcoin will go from this place to that place. Or in this case, your Ethereum will go from this place to that place. And so all cryptocurrencies run off of this blockchain technology that is basically, mapping where your money is going. And so Ethereum is a little bit of a special kind of cryptocurrency. You may have heard of Bitcoin, which is digital money, digital cash. Ethereum is a little bit more than that because it kind of takes that level of money a step further where, yes, your money is going from place A to place B, but you can also use the Ethereum technology to build other applications that are a little bit more than money. So in this case, that's what NFTs are. They're non-fungible tokens. If you remember, like if you go to like Chuck E. Cheese, you get a token with like Chucky's name on it. That's kind of what an NFT would be. It's kind of like a collectible, it's kind of like a rarity item. How many Chuck E. Cheeses are there now? They're very hard to find. I don't think I have any, coins in my house now, but an NFT is kind of like a personal kind of money. It may not be exactly $1. It could be a digital piece of art. It could be a sound that someone made that, no one else can make that same sound. It can be really a plethora of things, but it's just different kind of money because it's directly linked to you. Okay. So like, and then also the term non-fungible, what that means is like completely unique. Like if I have $1 and Hassan has $1, they're both $1. Like it doesn't matter whether I spend $1 somewhere or he spends it somewhere, it'll be accepted by whatever merchant. But if I have like the Tamia BJ NFT and Hassan has his NFT, we can't really exchange it for money. We can't say that they're worth the same thing. It's like you put a price on what, your valuables are. And that's usually how I explain it. Just know that NFTs are like completely rare. scarce, and they just take money to the next level.
Okay, because I seen like artists like Tory Lanez, Kings of Leon, even Lil Pump release some digital jewelry and some trading cards. So this really seems like a way for like brands and artists, musicians to really get closer to their fans. What do you think?
I think exactly that, because when you're purchasing directly from Tory Lanez or directly from Kings of Leon versus going to Target, it kind of makes the relationship, it feels like you're closer to them, you know what I mean? Like you get something that they directly sold to you. So that's pretty cool. That's what blockchain does, you know?
Yeah, then that, like you were saying, the non-fungible, like they feel like, you know, the end users feels like, okay, this is just for me. Like there's only, you know, 2 or 3, you know, this type of NFTs out. So that makes sense. That makes sense. So like who will really benefit from selling these NFTs? Is it only big businesses, big name artists? Like in theory, could anyone list a piece of art on there, and, you know, can up and coming artists do the same thing as well?
Personally, I believe that in the world of blockchain technology, anyone can benefit. Like it goes from selling from the big, you know, FANG, Facebook, Amazon, Google, those super big businesses versus just individual people. So honestly, I feel like anyone can benefit from this.
Okay, so how else does, you know, NFT benefit a creator?
So there's a couple of ways. My favorite way is through royalties, where if you list a piece of art, you can have royalties through a smart contract. Or like I mentioned before, you can always have a social token so people can directly fund you and your projects.
I'm glad you mentioned that smart contract, because what in the world is that? Like, how does that actually work?
So a smart contract is very similar to a blockchain, where it's a computer telling another computer to do something. But instead of it just being with transactions or with sending money, a smart contract is kind of like a promise of what you will do if someone sends you like this amount of money. So like, for example, if you and I have an agreement, if I send you $20, you have to send me a pack of gum. Then I could just, you know, type it into my smart contract, and then automatically like it'll happen. So like, say you're like, oh, well, this piece of gum or this pack of gum is missing a piece. It doesn't matter. It's still going to send it to me. Or like if I accidentally send 19 instead of 20, then like I just won't get my gum. Like you might be nice one day and be like, you know what? I know you're missing that $1 today. You can have the gum anyway. But with the smart contract, it's like it takes the emotion out of moving your money around. Does that make sense?
So like with the smart contract, is what happens if another party doesn't, you know, go through with what they were planning on doing?
It just won't, the transaction won't happen, or it'll return an error to your screen.
Okay, makes sense. So it's kind of, so it can literally be anything. Like, okay, I'll sell you my house. Like people could literally sell their houses on there if they wanted to, right?
Right. Yes. Peer-to-peer.
Oh man, this then, and that's, so now I'm really seeing why this is going to be the future of, you know, the digital e-commerce and just online, you know, business. I see it, because you even mentioned something about Ethereum is going to be a source of crowdfunding. So could you explain more of that?
Yes. So if you remember before, also I talked about like those social tokens. So instead of being like an influencer or something, say I have a business and I hire a developer to make me a specific cryptocurrency for my business. So then like my family, my friends, they could purchase that cryptocurrency. And then as the value of my currency goes up, it also shows the value of my business going up. So that's kind of a way to collect funds, and then also to show, you know, your value as a business to your stakeholders.
Okay, so now I'm really seeing the connection between, like, say for instance, a trading card. You know, if Luka Doncic or Ja Morant, you know, you bought their trading card as soon as they came in as a rookie, and now I'm sure it's going to be much higher because of their performances and how good they're doing now. So now I can see, you know, the relation from these crowdfunding to the smart contracts to the collectibles, and how valuable they will be, you know, once the person who's offering that contract, you know, their stock rises or their popularity rises. So that makes sense. So what do you see the future for NFTs? Like, where do you see at the biggest point, you know, where do you see this going?
I can see it transforming into kind of like a virtual reality type of platform. Because it's like everything is becoming digital. So much more of our time is spent online, in front of a screen, in front of a computer, living digital lives. So I can definitely see things going farther, especially because you can already buy, real estate with NFTs. Like Decentraland is kind of like an NFT platform for purchasing digital land and, farm animals and lumber to like build a home and start a family online. So I don't know how far this can go. Hopefully not like Sims or anything. Yeah, this is not a drill. Like I'm not joking.
We could build digital homes and digital real estate.
Yes.
And then possibly sell it when it appreciates, just like regular real estate.
Yep, and that would be a non-fungible because you can't exchange it for like US dollars or something. It's all in whatever cryptocurrency that it's in.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is why we had to have you on the show to, really simplify and break that down for us, because all in all, I believe NFTs are just like a simple way of owning and buying things. Maybe not simple just yet because it's so new, but would you agree to that? Like, what are some final words for someone who's still not sure on what NFTs are and how they can be used?
I would say if you feel like you're still a little bit lost, know that you're not alone, because we all start somewhere. There was one day I was like, what's a Bitcoin? And, here I am now. So I would say don't give up on the quest to educate yourself. We're living through the greatest money revolution in history, and it's really, really hard to ignore. So I feel like the biggest tip I could give is always ask questions, like DM Hassan, DM other leaders in the finance field that you see having a profile online. Just don't be afraid to ask, because the train is moving and you don't want to get left behind. So just keep up with your learning, and do great.
So to your point about that train is moving and you don't want to get left behind, this is one thing that I always tell people, because when we don't know something or when something new pops up, we tend to shy away from it if we don't understand it immediately. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's very important with this new technology. I heard Gary Vee say, I'm gonna keep mentioning my guy, but I heard him say that if you try to fight technology, you will lose. If you try to fight Facebook back then, you lost. If you try to fight Amazon, you lost. So you might as well, with these new technologies, learn about them and learn how you can implement them into your life, into your business, and different things like that. So definitely, thank you for joining us on the FYI FLI podcast. My audience, I appreciate you for dropping this knowledge on our community. Please let everybody know where we can reach you at.
Yes, you can reach me on Instagram at Tamia BJ.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.